Yes, I'm excited, but being an Eagle fan for the last past, I say, going on, I say about 40 years, it's kind of hard to be a fan because being a fan of a team that people don't like, you know, and don't want to be in the Super Bowl. Now, see, everybody knows I'm a huge fan because I got the Eagle Super Bowl ring. See, I don't know if you really see it really well. It's the Eagle Super Bowl ring. And Nick Foles, and over here is, the Super Bowl logo. This thing is very, very heavy, so I keep it in a box. You know what I mean? So, very, very huge Eagle fan. Just to let you know about that, because people, get on videos, but they're not really huge anything fans. They're just trying to just do it for clicks and likes, or pretending that they're a fan just for other people to say, "Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. You do this and this." Let me tell you something. This is going to be a Super Bowl that Eagle fans have to really keep an eye on, because for the last past few Super Bowls, there's a lot of talk on the NFL is doing rigging for bets, because the NFL is back into the betting thing like they were back in the 50s, where owners were betting on their own teams. But now, football is supposed to be entertainment, which it was called a sport. It was never called entertainment, but now you hear the name entertainment over top of the NFL, just like how wrestling has the WWE, but over top of it is called entertainment. And you have the league making money on these bets and this so-called entertainment to try to boost their ratings to go up. And what's sad about the Super Bowl, I'm not saying this is the only game that might be rigged. There's plenty other games from the Jets and the Colts back in the '60s, with Joe Namath saying that he guaranteed to win, from the Raiders in Tampa Bay to the Panthers and the New England Patriots to the Eagles and New England Patriots. We can go on and on and on and on. Even if the first Super Bowl, Green Bay versus Kansas City, you know, um, I mean, even though the AFL and NFL was trying to merge, but they wanted this. This was the last time that the NFL was going to merge in the 1960s. So there was going to be the last Super Bowl. Was his last Super Bowl was going to be against the Colts and the Jets. So a lot of football fans and even Too Tall Jones even said that the league might be actually, rigging these games for money or to merge the NFL. Now, honestly, could you be mad about that cheating, rigging game of that Super Bowl? Because the NFL would not look like it is today. We wouldn't even have the NFL. We wouldn't even have a Super Bowl if if the Colts would have won the Super Bowl. They would have kicked the AFL out. You know, I'm gonna kick the NFL out and the AFL. You know what I mean? So the football league today, we deserve, you know, that happening. But football is getting so much in the betting, and money is filling up the owners' pockets. But the fans are the ones that are dealing with the pain, because even though certain teams are not that good, but they still give them rings because they want this player, this player, this player to be the next poster child. Just like Mahomes after Brady retired, they needed another poster child. So they gave the poster child to Mahomes because Brady retired. They just needed one so bad, because they had to make sure they find somebody actually could be the guy that could be the pretty boy, curly hair guy. But they try to do it with Russell Wilson. They try to do it with Lamar Jackson. They try to do it with Barrow. They try to do it with Allen, but they couldn't do it with these players because these players wasn't that poster child looking player. And you had the former coach of Andy Reid. You know, he made it to the Super Bowl in 2004. Now he made it to two other Super Bowls, well, three Super Bowls. So he's been to four Super Bowls, and they are, you know, they need a coach to compete with Belichick. Even though Belichick retired and went on to college, to coach college, but he's still recognized as the greatest coach of all time. Now Belichick is not going to be here to say, well, I three-peated. He never three-peated. Andy Reid has a chance to be the only coach in NFL history, and Mahomes to be the only player in history to fucking three-peat. There's a couple of only teams in the NFL that almost three-peated. Like the 49ers, and you got the Dallas Cowboys, you got the New England Patriots, but they didn't do what they had done. So now you're looking at this game as, are they going to rig this game for Kansas City to repeat? Now, I can get mad, I can get upset, but I'm already thinking, like, damn, the Eagles get all the way to the Super Bowl to lose it to somebody that they want to give a trophy to, or give them the status as being next to Brady, which I still think that he's nowhere near Brady. He's nowhere near a couple of other quarterbacks just because he's been there three times, but he lost Super Bowls. And, you know, he lost the AFC Championship, like being crushed in the AFC Championship. So for me, I'm not a Mahomes fan. I'm not a Brady fan. But I know who's the best or the greatest quarterback of all time. His name is Tom Brady. You know, and I'm a Joe Montana fan for life. You know, I think Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback of all time in my mind, in my eyes, of what I seen when I watched him growing up. And I also watched Tom Brady play, and I watched how Tom Brady dominated the league. I know people say he cheated, he did this. Yes, he probably did. But you know the fuck what? He still did what he had to do to win championships. Now, I'm looking at this game as, are they going to let Kansas City win this game without the referees? If they can win this game without the referees, then we could say, damn, Kansas City was really a good fucking team to be only losing one game. Or are they the team that referees have to help to win? Is Mahomes a true GOAT that people think at his young age, you know, that he can win these games and without referees helps, or not getting the rough in a pass, or a pass interference, or a holding call, or illegal whatever, to get them to win a championship, and say, God damn, yo, that team right there, man, no other team is better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Because they keep on saying they had three championships, they do, but Mahomes only has two. And that championship was won by the Kansas City Chiefs years ago. So I don't know why people keep on talking about he won three titles. He didn't win three titles. He only won two. He been to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he been to the Super Bowl a lot, but he hasn't been to the Super Bowl more times than Brady. But the thing is, cheating should make fans really mad, especially the NFL doing this. Now, if the NFL had the players doing this, the team doing it, okay, like the New England Patriots did when they did Spygate, or when they did something with the Eagles, and when they did not the other Spygate they had with the Jets, I could say, okay, it's the players and the coaches, but this is the NFL. This is the NFL taking a chance for another team that worked their asses off to get to the Super Bowl, like they did when the Eagles played against them in 2002, and they took that opportunity for the Eagles to win that game, to push in the overtime for the Kansas City Chiefs to win, because the league was like, God damn, I didn't know the Eagles were going to play the fucking play Kansas City like this. We gotta not let them win this game. Refs, call a holding penalty. Eagles got a holding penalty. He called, scored. That's what happens. See, it's not just happening in that Super Bowl. Many other Super Bowls it happened just for a team to win, for the owners to get money in their pockets, not for the fans to have an enjoyment of a football game and not think that game was rigged. And my team lost not because of the team that beat them was better than that team. Remember, the Eagles got the number one defense. Kansas City probably has a top 10 offense, but they're not really good like they used to be. Their defense is not what it used to be. And the Eagles should have the advantage, but it's not going to have the advantage because the only way you can actually keep a team from not winning is penalties. And you can throw some turnovers in there too. But penalties is the worst because you're going backwards. You're losing yards, and that team has a better chance of forcing you to punt or forcing you into a field goal when you have an opportunity to score a touchdown. Let's see how many times the Eagles get into the red zone, how many penalties is thrown in the red zone. Let's see how many penalties is thrown when the Eagles have the opportunity at the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line. Let's see how many opportunities on down or third down to stop the Kansas City Chiefs, and let's see if they call a penalty on the Eagles to keep the Kansas City Chiefs, keep on moving. I'm not saying that Mahomes is not a good quarterback because he's one of the most amazing quarterbacks I've ever seen. He reminded me a lot of, I say he reminded me a lot of Brett Favre before Brett Favre became an idiot. But he is a good quarterback. He's an amazing quarterback. He can keep you in the game. He can bring you back. But the referees is too much of the referees. It's like they're sitting by his side, having a full blown conversation with him, high fiving him, talking about, yeah, okay, we're gonna make sure you get this play right here. It's fourth down and three. We'll give you that fourth down and three. Okay, cool. We're going to give you another Super Bowl, Mahomes, and that's not fair to the fans. See, but the NFL don't care about the fans. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the Eagles actually getting the opportunity to win the Super Bowl, being the better team than Kansas City, because they are the better team than Kansas City. It's just Kansas City has a better record, but they're not better than Philadelphia. They know this. They noticed the year the Eagles beat Kansas City when they were 10-1. The Eagles was the best and the better team, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. People will say, well, Kansas City ain't the same team, they don't got the same roster. But the Eagles has a better roster. They have better players. The quarterback is probably not better than Mahomes, but the quarterback can still be feared because he can run and he can pass. Then you got Barkley. The offensive line they probably have the best offensive line in football. The receivers are just, they're good receivers when they get the ball. You got a great tight end that might be playing in the Super Bowl. Then their defense is amazing. They only allow 15 points in the regular season. And I forgot how many points they allowed in the playoffs. They didn't allow that many points in the playoffs. But the thing is, will the referees say, okay, you know what? They always say that we rig games and we're doing this and doing that to mess the game up. We're not going to do it this time. We're going to let the teams play and see who's the better team and who can win the championship without us being involved. Yeah, we're going to call a couple of penalties because we should, but we're not going to call a lot of penalties. That's going to change the game. We're going to let the players play. The coaches, the players play. That's what we're going to do. Is that going to happen? No. And Kansas City fans already know that's not going to happen. For years, Kansas City struggled to get to the playoffs. For years, they struggled to even get to the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship, to even get to the Super Bowl. Now is their time to be what? To try to be the New England Patriots, which I think they're not the New England Patriots. Kansas City is not a New England Patriot team. New England Patriots dominated in 2000. They dominated for a whole couple of decades. So they have that right to say that they're the best team probably ever. But to have the Kansas City Chiefs come along, and then you want to say, well, we're going to unite Mahomes as this great quarterback because we want somebody to be just as great as Tom Brady. It doesn't make any sense to make one quarterback stand out between all the other quarterbacks. When Brady was playing, it was more than one quarterback that stand out. That was great. The Drew Brees, the Peyton Mannings. I can go on and on and on. All the quarterbacks that were in the past that were competing for a championship, like McNair and all of them. They were competing for a championship along with Brady. McNabb competing with a championship with Brady. But now you got these teams like you want a Josh Allen, Barrow, maybe other. Barrow hasn't been one. He's been one championship. Allen never been. He never been to a Super Bowl. Jackson never been to a Super Bowl. But you got Hurst that been to two Super Bowl, out beat these two. But you don't want him to win a Super Bowl. But why? Number one, everybody knows that Mahomes is black. Everybody knows Mahomes is a black man. He's not a white boy. He's black. I mean, they showed his father. His father's one of the greatest players in baseball. He is a fucking black man. But they still try to pump it up and try to use the Taylor Swift and Kelsey thing, which blows my mind that they need to stop that because it's not football. I know they trying to bring Taylor Swift fans into football. They're trying to bring the younger generation into football. It was going to be hard for the younger generation to like football. You still got a lot of boys and girls that love football, and they don't even know who Taylor Swift is, or don't even give a damn about Taylor Swift. So why are you trying to use Taylor Swift to bring fans into the game that don't know nothing about football? Because it's all about money. It's not about. It's not all about trying to make people coming, like young generation coming to the game and learn the game, love the game, play the game, and try to get to the NFL. No, we gotta use Taylor Swift to bring these Taylor Swift fans and they don't know nothing about football. Because they even say it on them big ass things they write. We are not here for football. We're only here for Taylor Swift. The game has changed. Even basketball has changed, but you already knew basketball was going to change. Football, you probably thought wouldn't change because the fans loved the game the way it was until they started changing the game around for, say, protecting players. But they changed the game around because they're cheating fans. They're cheating fans and their money. Why would you want to go to a game that you know that the team is going to lose because the referees are sitting right there with red stripes underneath their fucking jerseys? Everybody is looking at this game. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. I always say, why don't we ever talk about the rigging? Why don't we talk about that? Because it's going to happen. The Eagles are going to be driving down the field. The Eagles might be up like they did when they played against New England when they were up, and then the Eagles started getting penalized, and they wanted to bring motherfucking New England back into the game. Or I could bring the the Baltimore game versus the 49ers. When they were up, when Baltimore was up, they turned the lights out so they get the 49ers back in the game. When they went 17, they scored 17 straight points. The NFL knows how to manipulate fans, thinking that the game doesn't have any rigging to it. And it's unfair because fans pay money to go and see these games for their teams to lose because of a referee blowing a whistle, throwing a false flag, or picking up the flag after a play. Like the play that Josh Allen did when he ran for the first down. The motherfucker got the first down. And if he would have got the first down, Kansas City, Buffalo would have scored. But they took that first down from Buffalo and they said that he didn't get the first down, knowing that he got the first down because he dove over the pile to get the first down. Because the man is 6'6", about 250, and he got the first down. One referee comes down where the first down line was, another referee comes from the other side of the first down. But you know what they did? They made a plan with each other. He said, well, the commissioner told me it's not a first down. He's like, oh, okay, I got to listen to the commissioner. No first down. So it was a fourth down that was overturned for Kansas City to get the ball back. Kansas City went down there and scored. That's my problem with the NFL. You don't want the better team to win, and Buffalo was the better team because they beat. They're the only team to beat. They're the only team to beat Kansas City. But they don't want them to beat Kansas City for some reason. Because honestly, this Eagle thing, it really drives me crazy because of Kelsey and Taylor Swift and Andy Reid and the defense coordinator Spuds all are connected to the Eagles. And I hate that. I wanted to see Buffalo and the Eagles. I wanted to see that game. I believe the Buffalo Eagle game would have been exciting. It would have been Buffalo's first time in a Super Bowl ever since '95. And they would have. I think they didn't want them in the Super Bowl because they would have outcompeted Dallas because Dallas hasn't been in the Super Bowl in 30 years. Buffalo hasn't been in the Super Bowl in 30 years. So they would have been like, oh, we can't have Buffalo outbeat Dallas, not be in the Super Bowl. We got to keep them out of the Super Bowl. No, but I'm, for some reason that game would have been more exciting than Kansas. I think it would have been more exciting than the Kansas City Chiefs. It would have something else to talk about besides talking about the Taylor Swift, Kelsey, and and that's it. And Mahomes. That's it. This is my problem with the NFL. The NFL is turning into the NBA. First, they want a whole bunch of scoring. Then, when you start talking about Barkley leading the league in rushing and being the MVP, they don't want to give him the MVP. They're going to end up getting it to Josh Allen because they don't want a running back winning it. Knowing that they didn't think that Barkley was going to do what he had done. Now, let's see what they do with him in the Super Bowl. Will they do some? Will the referees allow Barkley to be Barkley, or they're going to say, well, okay, we're going to call holding. Barkley got a 50-yard run. Oh, we're going to call holding on this because we can't have Barkley have a 50-yard run because Barkley probably might have a 50-yard run in the Super Bowl. I believe he will have a long run in the Super Bowl, but will it be called back? If Hurts plays really well in that Super Bowl, would they take that away from him? What if the Eagles' defense is playing so well against Mahomes and it was a key stop that the Eagles need? Will the referees blow a whistle on the Eagles to let Kansas City get a first down and get 4 extra downs? That will be the biggest cheating in NFL history. You can't do, and this is what I think fans should do. Stop watching football. Because you're knowing they're doing it in the regular season, they're also doing it in the playoffs, and they're also doing it in the Super Bowl. Knowing that we're supposed to be the fans of the game and we love our football, we love our team, we love our players, we love our owners, and we love we love everybody that is involved with the team. But why do we want to watch a team cheat to win a game for the owners to make money? Because they once the Super Bowl's over, they split that money. They split that money. That Super Bowl money, the TV money goes to each team. Even the teams that fucking loses get that motherfucking money from all the TV. I think all the TV something whatever the views whatever they get from the money from the TV commercials. Every team gets it. So the owners love the fact that the team that honestly, well, the Eagles are going to be underdog in the Super Bowl. They're going to be underdogs because the Kansas City has a better record. But the thing is, or they said they have the better player, they have the better quarterback. So they're going to say the Eagles are going to be underdog this game, even though the Eagles got a better team. It doesn't make any sense. How are you going by quarterback, but you're not going by fucking team? Team wins championships, not just a quarterback. Mahomes doesn't play defense. So, and he doesn't play special teams. So that's what I'm saying. If the Eagles lose this game and the referees don't be involved in this game, like I mean really involved in this game, I'd be like, you know what? Kansas City beat the Eagles fairly. But if the referees are in this game calling the most dumbest motherfucking calls that don't make no motherfucking sense because the Eagles have the advantage, like a four, because it always happens like between a fourth down and a third down short, that the Kansas City Chiefs will get a flag thrown for them. And next thing you know is a first down. And Mahomes can bitch and complain, throw his arms, he'll get the flag. And we're like, God damn, like, what? Why is he getting a flag? Like, you shouldn't give a player a flag for him wailing his arms around. It's like fucking LeBron wailing his arms around because he getting a foul call for him. And I forgot what game it was. I think it was against the Celtics when he got his hand smacked and he went crazy because they didn't call a foul. And he was up there on his knees banging on the floor. That's what Mahomes do. When a penalty's not called for him, he'll sit there and say, "Oh well, that was a stupid ass call. They should never called that." But when the call's called for you, you won't say nothing. You won't go and say, "Well, I don't think that was a good call, but referees doing their job, but they gotta make this call." No, because Kansas City is going to get the better advantage over a team because if a team is going to beat them, even though they know that team is going to beat them, they'll throw flags because Buffalo should have beat Kansas City, and it was because of one fucking call, because of the first down. And Kansas City fans should understand that was a first down, and Buffalo would have scored because Kansas City couldn't stop Buffalo. The referees stopped Buffalo from scoring. Buffalo, and even you can even take it as when they played the motherfucking when they played Texans. The Texans was even killing fucking Kansas City in the first half. Then the referees come along. Let me just start throwing some flags real quick. Throw some flags all over the place so we can stop this momentum that the Texans got. We got to slow down this momentum. We can't let the Texans come down here and start scoring some points on Kansas City. Even though they couldn't stop Kelsey, but still, Texas was still in that game. But the referee was doing this joint. Flag, 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 flag. And Texas was like, yo, what's going on? Why can't we just play football? Why does the referees have to help you get to the Super Bowl? And like I said, that Buffalo and Kansas City game, they're lucky they were not playing in Buffalo. Because Buffalo, them fans would have tore that motherfucking stadium up. Telling you, man, it's going to be a point that Kansas City will be losing the game because it happens all the time and the referees start throwing flags. Or a team is about to score or tie the game, they'll throw a flag on a team that's about to score on Kansas City or tie the game on Kansas City. They will throw the flag. This is the reason why I believe the game is going to be rigged. I believe this Super Bowl right here is going to prove to everybody that the NFL only cares about money. They only care about the people that are not even interested in football. And they're trying to get them interested in football by bringing these like Kendrick Lamar and all of them out there to rap and say, this is for the younger generation. Kendrick Lamar, see, they wouldn't use Chris Brown because Chris Brown's almost 40 years old. So they don't want an older person. They rather have Kendrick Lamar. He's younger. So he can bring all the younger kids to watch the, because they're trying to bring that younger generation into watch football. That's why they use Rihanna. They wanted the younger generation. They wanted, that's why they brought in a lot of these younger singers. They don't bring in the old rappers anymore. They only did that only one motherfucking time, and that was the last time they did that shit when they had Eminem, when they had Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and all of them at that game, and Dr. Dre. That was the last time they were going to have older. They had Usher, but see, Usher is still in that younger bracket of singers because younger people still love Usher, so they could use him. But I'm trying to tell you, they're going to start ending the older generations of being in Super Bowls, so they could bring in a younger generation of singers into the Super Bowl. Like next time, I believe it's going to probably be Sexy Red doing the Super Bowl, and I believe they're going to have probably somebody else like Carly B or somebody do the Super Bowl because these are for the younger generation. And this is the reason why Super Bowls are not exciting. It's why people they turn the television at halftime because they know halftime is too long, and you're watching it like you're watching a concert. Now I know Super Bowls back then they were more excited because you already knew the people that were coming out, and they were big time celebrities. They're bringing out people that we barely fucking know. Kendrick Lamar, yeah, we know. Rihanna, hell yeah, I would love when she did the Super Bowl, but she was pregnant at the time when she did the Super Bowl. Usher, yeah, he did an all right Super Bowl. But I still wish they did put like Chris Brown in the Super Bowl. He needs to do a fucking Super Bowl for the first time in his freaking life, which they won't let him do. For some reason, they're keeping Chris Brown away from a Super Bowl. But it's punishment for what he did. He did the Rihanna. That's the reason why they're probably punishing his ass. But for me, this Super Bowl is going to be. I'm watching this Super Bowl. I'm going to watch this Super Bowl so like critiquing the Super Bowl to see if these referees are willing to cheat a team that worked their ass off to get there, knowing that three of the times that the Eagles were playing, they were said they were going to lose the Super Bowl. They're going to lose. They wasn't going to make the S. They wasn't going to make the Super Bowl. The Eagles were going to win only 11 games. They're going to only win 10 games. Now they're in a Super Bowl. Now they're still underdog. Let's see what the referees in the NFL do to say, okay, maybe we should have the Eagles win this Super Bowl because it should be right that because Tom Brady's doing the game. So I don't know. He wore an Eagles jersey, he wore an Eagles jacket last game. A lot of people don't like that shit about that. But remember, Tom Brady's doing the Super Bowl this year. So remember, they want Tom Brady to look to see that three-peat. It might not happen because of Tom Brady being there. Because you know they love Tom Brady. So, but they do like Mahomes, but I don't think they like them more than Tom Brady do. So if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, it's probably because they don't want Mahomes to three-peat. Like they didn't want the New England Patriots to freaking go undefeated. Remember that? When the New England Patriots was going undefeated and they lost to the Giants? I don't think they're going to allow Mahomes to three-peat because of Brady. Especially Brady is the one that's actually televising, doing the televising of the game. You know what I mean? I believe that they're not going to let Mahomes three-peat. It looks good for television, but they forgot who their real poster boy is. He's sitting in the fucking booth calling the game, Tom Edward Brady. So I don't think that they're going to win this game because of if the referees do cheat this game, maybe, but Tom Brady is going to be at the game, and I think that Tom Brady never three-peated. He's the only one that didn't three-peat. He got every single other accolade, but he never three-peated. And you have this quarterback that's young, that's going to do something that no quarterback has ever done in the modern day era. The only team that actually three-peated, but this is before the Super Bowl era, was the Green Bay Packers. You know what I mean? This is before the Super Bowl. This is before 66 because they won in 63. Be 64. My fault, they won in 65. Then they won in 66 and 67. So they're the only ones that three-peated, but they don't call that a three-peat because it was the AFC, it was the AFL NFL championship. So they're the only ones. But this right here, I don't think they're going to let them three-peat because Dallas could have done it. The 49ers could have done it, but Dallas, I think they didn't, they made it to the AFC Championship and NFC Championship, and I think they lost to the 49ers. You know, I think the 49ers with Joe Montana, I think they lost to the Giants. And who else lost? There was a couple of other teams that I think the Pittsburgh Steelers lost. I think they lost to the Raiders back when John Madden was coaching. Um and Knox was coaching. I don't know, but I don't think they're going to let him. I don't think they're going to let him repeat because number one, Tom Brady's probably going to say something like, "Listen, man, I've been the poster child for the last past 22 fucking years. I made this motherfucking NFL money, and you're going to try to make this young ball that only won 2 rings, and I won 7." Really won 6. Won my 7th one when I was 40 fucking 5 years old. And you're gonna say that he better than me? Man, you better make this motherfucker lose. I don't know. It might be for Tom Brady, or it might be just referees just doing it for the Kansas City Chiefs, or the NFL is doing it for the Kansas City Chiefs. Because Tom Brady could be a rig too. I'm watching this game. If there's no penalties, the Eagles are playing hard. Eagles getting to Mahomes, sacking him. Barkley having over 200 yards rushing, maybe 100 something yards rushing. You know, Brown's having a good game. Devontae having a good game. You know, offensive line is dominating. Jones and all of them. I'll be like, yeah, yeah, this is for Tom Brady. But if the Kansas City come out and start getting penalties on their side, I'll be like, the NFL is doing this for money, for betting, because the NFL is the most watched game of any other sport on one day. So the NFL is going to make their money, regardless of how they make their money. You know, and like I said, Tom Brady is going to be at that game doing the game. So he already doesn't really respect Mahomes like that. He's not a fan of Mahomes because they're already saying Mahomes is better than Tom Brady, which everybody knows is a fucking lie. But you know, but you gotta take Kansas City fans because that's their quarterback, so I respect that. But he's not better than Tom Brady ever. It'll never ever happen. He can win 3 championships and still never be better than Tom Brady. He could three-peat and still be not be better than Tom Brady because Tom Brady got the hardware. It's like saying that LeBron's better than Michael, but Michael has six and LeBron only has four. But you're still trying to say LeBron's the best, but LeBron James has not been to a championship in almost how many years? I think he won the championship in 2020, so he hasn't been a championship ever since like 5 years. He hasn't won an MVP in 10 years. So you're telling me that he's better than Jordan, knowing Jordan won an MVP even when he came out of retirement. He won his three MVPs. So, and even he won the Finals MVP when he made his last shot to retire. And he came back and he didn't play as well because he got hurt, but he still was still people were still thinking he was the best player in the league, even though he was 38 years old. They believed that he was the best player in the league, even though he wasn't. Because I think Kobe Bryant and I think Shaq was the best player in the league at that time, or Tim Duncan. But everybody thought in their minds, seeing Jordan was still the best player in the league. So if you bring Tom Brady back and put him in a uniform, people will still think Tom Brady is the best player in the league. I'm not a Kansas City champ. I used to like Kansas City when they had Steve DeBerg, they had Vinny Testaverde. They had who else they had on there? They had on their team. They had my boy Derek Thomas, rest in peace. I mean, I think one of the greatest defensive ends of all time. Well, he was the first actual linebacker that actually, they had Trent Green. I love Trent Green. They had Priest Holmes. They had a lot of great players on their team, man. I mean, but even going back in the past of how many great players they had. Bobby Bell, Lanier. You know, these great players that they had through the years. You know, for them to have players today and thinking these players are that great, and they only won two championships. Well, there are only two. There are only two that won two championships. Well, I mean, if you let anybody else win because they're not the only one because the Rams won. The Patriots won. Tampa Bay won. People forgot about them teams winning championships before what Mahomes was playing. Yeah, people won championships during Brady's era. But the thing about it is that they had to go through Brady to win. I'm done. I'm hoping the Super Bowl will be a great Super Bowl. I'm gonna grab my popcorn, sit back, watch, and it's only 2 weeks from now. It was a week from it's 2 weeks from now. It's really obviously a week from now. But the Eagles Kansas City game should be a good game. My Eagles, I want them to win, but I know it's gonna be a task for them to win. That's why I'm not. A lot of my friends be like, "Oh, why don't you say that the Eagles are going to win?" Because I never say that because I know how the league work. I know how the NFL work. I have friends that played in the NFL that tells you that players, players will get notes from the commissioner to tell them it's time for y'all to not win that game. They get letters and notes from the league, from the NFL, from the referee commission. They get letters. I know y'all know who Shafi Fields is. He used to play for a school called Masbom. I played against him when I was in high school. Best player in high school at the time. He went to play for Penn State. After he left from Penn State, he went over there and played for the 49ers. He didn't play that much, but he got let go. But the thing about it is that they tell you all the secrets of what goes on in the NFL once they're former players, man. A couple of players that I know that told me some things that go on to the NFL. And y'all thinking that the NFL doesn't cheat. They do. They cheat for money. It's not the players and the coaches, it's the owners and the fucking commissioner that listens to this bosses, which they're called the owners, to tell him what to do, how to do it, make this team lose, make this team win, or you're not going to be the commissioner no more. He has to do what he's told to do. This is how Pontius Pilate was when he was the governor of fucking Jerusalem. He had to be told what to do from Caesar. Caesar told him what to do. He had to listen. And all the other fucking leaders of fucking Rome, he had to listen to. Even the same thing of Herod the King Herod. He had to listen to all the kings over there that told him what to do. He couldn't do anything on his own, do what he wanted. So that's what the NFL do. You can't just be saying, okay, I'm not going to drink this game. I'm only going to come to you and say, listen, I need you to do this, 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 for you to, you know what I mean? For us to win the game, to make more money for the league. We're doing this for the league. We're trying to expand it. We're trying to make it worldwide. We're trying to bring young youth and all the elderly to come and watch our game. It's a Roman spectacle. That's all this is the Roman spectacle. We're watching gladiators, you know, playing on a field, and we have no control on who wins or loses. And it's a shame that we can't watch good games anymore. Like good hard nosed games when players are coming down smacking each other in the faces and knocking each other the fuck out. You know, it's no roughing the passer, no illegal, illegal man downfield, which is or illegal formation and all this other kind of stuff they be calling on the field. That's the worst. You know what I mean? It'll be illegal block downfield or chop block. They call chop blocking again because they try to take chop blocking out, but they start calling chop blocking again. um, Holding on defense, pass interference on defense, illegal hitting the defensive receiver, even though half of the time the defensive back doesn't even touch the receiver. It'll be holding calls that will be phantom holding calls. Referees said we can't get it right all the time. I say, you know what? Don't call it then. If you don't know what it is, don't call it. The referees want to call it because the commissioner upstairs tell them, listen, that's a holding call. Call it. Holding number 55 of the defense, automatic first down. But it's not a holding call. But they don't care if it is or not. It's all about money.